Hey guys, welcome to the Tistic Critics. I'm Yasus,
And I'm Beardy.
and this is our review of Doctor Who, The Empire of Dogshit. That's what we're calling it. That's the official title. That episode
Mm.
was terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
it was bad. I mean, going
So
over it
true.
like on our second go through, I think it got worse, which is really difficult to do. Like
Mm.
that's hard. That's a challenge, and they completed it somehow. I'm impressed. I'll be honest. So we can kind of like start with a summary of the episode, I guess. So I guess we'll poke holes in the episode after. We'll go through a summary of the episode first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so at the end of the episode before this, Sekhet has hijacked the TARDIS. He's become one with the TARDIS. And so Sekhet is left like he's stolen the TARDIS basically, and then we start the episode with Sekhet having his little servant dudes breathe this dust of death on the planet, and so he destroys Earth basically. Like there's a giant dust cloud killing everyone, and the Doctor and Mel get away, and the Doctor grabs Ruby at the tower, which is kind of okay. We'll worry about the poke holes later. Anyways, which he goes down to the memory thing that Ruby's in, the memory chamber, and we discover that there's actually a memory TARDIS there because Sekhet's taken the main TARDIS, and so the Doctor takes the memory TARDIS with Ruby, and they fly off into space. And the Doctor finds out that actually Sekhet has placed these like dust death dudes at every point that the TARDIS has ever landed since he first fought Sekhet and he merged in the vortex with the TARDIS after a while. So now everywhere the Doctor's ever landed is dead, like everything. So almost every planet basically in the universe is dead. Is essentially the TLDR here. And the Doctor like finds this woman and he gets a spoon from her, and the spoon leads them to some clues that tell them that Ruby's mother is the reason that Sekhet didn't kill them. And so the mystery of Ruby's mother is what's keeping them alive for Sekhet. And so now they got to find out the mystery of Ruby's mom. So they travel back to 2046. Yeah, 2046.
Mm.
And they go and get because Robert At William from 73 Yards, he took genetic data from everyone. He tested everyone's genetic code or whatever. So now he is testing everyone, and now they can go get the code from there. So they take this little screen that they have that's giving them hints of Ruby's mother, and they put it up there, and they scan the database with Ruby's blood, and they find out who Ruby's mother is. And then we find out Mel was dead the whole time. A little bit before that, we find out Mel was dead the whole time, and that Sekhet's taking control. And then Sekhet takes them to the current time using his servant dudes, and Ruby's like saying he's gonna tell Sekhet the name, and the Doctor's like, "No, don't do it, Ruby, don't do it." And then Ruby drops the screen, and Sekhet's all angry and no, blah blah blah. And then they put a bungee cord on his neck, and they drag him through the vortex. And because Sekhet is death, Sekhet rips through the vortex and like unkill. He brings death to death, which brings life, I guess. And then Sekhet dies. That's like for anyone who didn't watch the full episode or didn't watch the episode. That's a general summary. That's all you really need to know. This is the point where we're gonna go through and poke holes in it. So at the beginning of the episode, we talk about like the whole breeze dust to kill everything thing. The first thing is like Mel and Mel and the Doctor drive back to the tower. The definitely not Stark Tower. They drive back to the Torchwood Tower. Um, and they go to the memory chamber. Which first off, how is the building not filled with dust? That's
Mm.
in like the
Also, here's another point. See, we can see from the previous episode that Suteka even has um control over that TARDIS because he kills the one guy in it, right?
yeah yeah he does yeah he
So
used
why
yeah
doesn't he have any influence over it
yeah
now?
that's a good question yeah so yeah he has no influence over it, which is weird. But then like no somehow the building isn't filled with dust. Okay, but they take that memory TARDIS, which what the fuck is even that? I'm sorry, but like What is a memory? How is the TARDIS a memory? Like, how do you have this memory TARDIS that somehow functions as a real TARDIS?
It's a TARDIS remembered. It's made of memories. Ruby, it is feeding off you. Yeah, give it everything you've got, babes. Remember it harder.
Yes, I can, yes.
If time is a memory, the memory is a time machine.
That's so ridiculous to me. That concept is absurd, right? Like, the whole memory TARDIS thing. So, we have this memory TARDIS, and we're using it to fly, and he gets a spoon from a lady? And the spoon is what allows them to, like, power this screen that enables them to figure out that, like, Ruby's mom's the mystery that's keeping them alive. So, that none of this makes sense so far. Like, there's so many plot holes in this. Like, none of it has been sensical or reasonable so far. It's all just been like random stuff thrown at the wall, I feel like, kind of. And then we get to the part where they go back in time to get the blood sample. And this is where me and you start asking some real questions, because the doctor goes, "Oh, well, this time period is being held in place by the TARDIS." But that makes no sense, right? Because
Yeah.
back in episode 3, the Devil's Chord, the music episode that was horrible, they traveled forward in time and the world was like destroyed, and the TARDIS didn't hold it in place then.
This is what we're trying to stop.
But this isn't real. It's just like a parallel universe.
This is your time. This is your home if Maestro isn't stopped.
2046, here we come!
Well, 2046 doesn't exist, does it?
Yes, but it is preserved in death, because I once landed there, so it's fixed, yeah? Hold that down.
Yep.
So that makes no sense. Once again, another plot hole. Like, this is plot hole after plot hole. This is gonna be, our whole review is gonna be plot hole after plot hole. um, so they travel forward,
The
and
writing is so bad in
it's
this episode.
so bad. It's obscenely bad. So then we go forward to Robert App Williams' time. And he took blood samples he took everyone's genetic code in 2046, I guess. So now we're gonna go back there and we're gonna get Ruby's blood tested, and Ruby finds out who her mother is, and this is really weird too, because she's acting like she's so confused, and she's like, "This doesn't make any sense."
What does it mean?
And it's supposed to like lead up to the thing where she like surprises Sekhet, but she said that before she knew that Sekhet was watching her and like paying attention to what she was doing. So why is she acting like she's confused to the doctor? Is my next question. Like, am I wrong here? I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
You great big god of nothing.
So then we go back and we're talking to Sekhet, and we're like, oh man, Sekhet there to take the name, the name. And then Ruby drops that screen for some reason. I still don't understand why Ruby dropped the screen, whatever. But and then we bungee a literal Egyptian god, the strongest bungee cord in the universe. I still can't wrap my head around that, ironically enough. I mean, what is the bungee cord made of? Memories? Is this like the memory cord, the memory bungee cord? Ooh, it's a special memory bungee cord.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, and this special memory bungee cord can't be torn by anything, I guess, because Sekhet just kind of sits there. Which, by the way, this is something that really peeves me. Is like Sekhet sits there the whole episode, the entire episode.
Like, let's say he can't do anything about the bungee cord. Just kill them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, first off, just kill him. But also, like, he sat there the whole episode. And we've seen that he can transport people back in time, because that's what he does. He, like, transports them back in time to try and get the name from them. So you're telling me Sekhet has just sat here the entire episode with the ability to literally travel in time and space with the TARDIS, because he's, like, merged with it. And then he just lets the doctor, like, sit there. Oh, okay, and then Ruby drops the screen, and we get that whole like whistle scene too. We forgot to mention the whistle scene.
Oh yeah, the fucking
Yeah,
whistle.
the doctor has a whistle, and he uses the whistle to like enable a booster in the TARDIS, which is weird because Seket's merged with the TARDIS and supposedly is one and controls the TARDIS, so it makes no sense that the Doctor can control the TARDIS with the whistle.
Not only that, why have we never seen this before? Why is it set to re like do things when it hears a whistle, specifically a whistle?
Yeah,
Like,
you said we were watching it. You were like, why has he never just carried around a whistle then? If he can control the
yeah,
TARDIS, yeah, if he can control the TARDIS with a whistle, why doesn't he just carry the whistle around with him?
yeah, like that would be so fucking handy.
Wait, wow, I can just like whistle and the TARDIS will fly to me. Man, that sounds not like what
Mhm.
I guarantee you too, they're never gonna bring this plot point up again. This is something
Oh,
that will never happen ever again. It blows my mind that that's even a plot point you wrote in there. Maybe he wants to do something in the future with the whistle. Yeah, so they use the whistle and then they like bungee cord a god with this bungee cord. Random ass bungee cord, bro. I want this bungee cord. This would help me so much in my day-to-day life. Like a bungee cord that can pull a literal god and he can't snap it. Holy cow, man. And they pull him into the time vortex. Which in this scene, it's really funny. I'll throw up a clip of this. There's the scene where he's like his goons are just gone. The death people he has with him are just gone. They aren't even in the scene.
Into the vortex.
They don't even exist in the scene. And then they just pull him into the vortex and they do the whole bring death to death thing, which I'm going to mention. How is that bungee cord strong enough to just pull him through the vortex without like breaking or snapping or getting dissolved by the vortex?
mm.
Like I said, it's like the strongest bungee cord in the universe.
It's a memory bungee cord, Ace.
Oh wow!
That
So
means it's literally indestructible.
so they drag him through the vortex and he hits the side of the vortex and he opens it and he brings everyone back to life. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
And
Wow.
and can I just say, like, I mean, I don't think we need to discuss the ending much because the Starbucks scene is just stupid. I mean, I guess we can talk about the Starbucks scene, the scene where she calls a barista. And
What can I get?
Oh, cappuccino, please.
Ruby?
That's me. I was named after a road.
and then just like she sits down with her mom and she calls the barista, or not calls the barista, I guess, but she orders a coffee from the barista and then is just like sits with her like adjacent from her mom, and then the barista goes, "Coffee for Ruby," and she jumps out of her chair and goes, "That's me." Dude, it's so ridiculous.
It really is goofy.
And then her mom like has this bamboozled look on her face. Her mom's like, and she's like, "Oh my god, you're my daughter! Whoa!" And then they kind of like hug a little bit, and the doctor stands outside the door crying, which is weird, but whatever. And then they like suddenly transport home, and that's when they do the whole scene where like he leaves Ruby behind. I think the biggest thing I want to say with this episode is, holy cow, I feel like Shooty's acting has only gotten worse progressively through the episodes. which is impressive because I feel like that's a difficult achievement when acting is your job. I mean, we can talk about the scene we threw at the beginning of this video where it's just like the doctor yelling. Like, I'm sorry, it's such a ridiculous scene. Ah,
It feels like
ah.
something from a Moist Critical
Yeah.
video. It
Yeah,
really
because
does.
that is something that Moist Critical would do. Like, Moist Critical has that. He
Yeah.
just goes, ah. He's a goober man. No, it's so terrible. I mean, it's just like all of the scenes where he's crying. He's like got it, like he's doing this stupid little pouty, like scrunchy baby face, man. Nyeh. Like, oh my gosh, that one scene where we freeze framed on an accident, and that'll probably be the thumbnail. But like he sits there like biting his lip, like sure. I think overall this episode was terrible. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, no, this was awful. I don't know if this was the worst one, but it
Pretty
definitely has the worst writing.
Yeah, pretty damn close though, I would say overall. Like
Yeah, it's bad.
I think
It's
I think I
bad.
would say the writing wasn't the worst, but the acting that Shooty gave, the performance that Shooty gave in this episode, I think was overall his worst. I think this is his worst acting performance by far. So we're gonna appropriate the moist meter. Like highway robbery. We're gonna have the Tistic meter. And where do we think we rate this on the Tistic meter?
Like I feel like it's a 2. Like
Yeah, I think
yeah, I think it's a 2.
I think it's a 2. Yeah, I think between all the plot holes, the terrible plot holes, and the like terrible acting, that like if you haven't watched this episode yet, just skip. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It was not worth an hour of our time. There's no world in which I only watch this show because I'm like a huge Doctor Who simp. I have been for a long time. I was hoping, man, with the return of Russell that it would be good again, but I don't know. It's not hidden. This season was a flop. Who knows? Maybe there's some redemption, you know? Maybe we find redemption somewhere. I don't know though. I think it's lost.
I mean, it is in Disney's claws now.
It's
So